more willing to see each other's point of view and not get entrenched in a position, and I think they're more persuadable. And if they go around and say, you know, I think this, but I'm going to argue the reverse because that's what I'm told to do, I think they will reach a consensus. I really feel very confident about that.
You know what I thought was fascinating? When the jury last night said at 6 o'clock, we want to break and we want to go home, but they're sequestered, so that means to a hotel, and come back at 9 o'clock, you could see George Zimmerman's face, because I believe, Jason Johnson, that a lot of defendants, the best example being Jodi Arias, create a fantasy in their heads, wishful thinking, magical thinking, that this is all going to be resolved very quickly, and that becomes sort of their internal reality. And I could almost see the bubble over George Zimmerman's head when the jury said, we have not reached a decision tonight, we want to sleep on it and come back tomorrow, of him going, oh my God, a sort of a reality setting in that what Mark O'Mara may have told him about, hey, this should have been dismissed and blah, 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 wasn't coming to pass.
Well, yeah, and I think one of the things that is really important and that Mark O'Mara has talked about and Zimmerman didn't talk about as well last year is what the rest of his life looks like sociologically, economically. Think about this. So either one, he's going to go to jail, and if he goes to jail, he's going to have to be isolated because he will be harmed in prison if he were put in the general population. That's just the reality that any wise prison would take into consideration. Or even if he's found innocent, he's got to move. He's got to move. He has a notorious name. He's probably going to have to leave Florida. He's going to have to try and recreate a life. Whatever dreams he had of being a police officer are probably out the window, even if he is found not guilty. And so Zimmerman wants this over because he's got to plan the rest of his life and how that'll work, and he doesn't know it yet.
Okay, and there's the Zimmerman side, what's on his mind. There's also the family side, the Martin family side of what's on their minds right now. And I spoke to Ben, you know, in talking to Ben Crump, and he's talked a lot about this, the idea of profiling. So let's take a look at this, and we'll talk about it right out of this. Ben Crump talking about profiling. Take a look.